Welcome to the latest printed press. And again today for our COVID-19 Turkish Cypriot platform group, we are focusing on the unsung heroes and the volunteers that tirelessly help with the group. And I'm very happy to have Sultan Ozkurtlar, operations at TCCA, Bayram Çubuk, who is the Yeni Boğaziçi London FC director, Şanel, Yiğit, who is a volunteer, Hakan, who is a delivery volunteer, and once again, Erim Metto, CEO of the Turkish Cypriot Community Association. Welcome everybody to my program. It's wonderful to have you here today. Hello, how is everybody?
Hello.
Thanks.
Hello.
Yeah, and like I said to our audiences, we're again focusing on the unsung heroes, which is you guys. You know, day in, day out, you're volunteering and doing such hard work and brilliant work for the community. I thought that we should do another program because there's so many involved with this COVID-19 platform group that one program just wasn't enough. But what I'd like is if we could go around and just have you introduce yourselves to the audience. Şanel, if we start with you, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Şanel. I'm a civil servant, and I joined to help with the deliveries of the parcels to our vulnerable and our elderly. I've also been taking calls and helping regarding benefit inquiries and housing inquiries. And I'm actually going to be going out and meeting a couple of the people that I've been on the phone to help them make applications or find out what's been going on with their claims and such, to basically help them get through this time, because the job centres are closed and so are the councils, so they've got nowhere to actually go and seek the help or information that they need.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's very needed now. You see, this is the thing. We were talking about this a few weeks ago. It's not just obviously you're helping with the food runs, but as the times are evolving and we're coming to a different point in the pandemic, obviously things like this people need, don't they? Because, you know, we've been actually quarantined for quite a long time. So it's very useful and handy to know that that service is available and that you can do that. So thank you very much. Very, very valid support that you're giving. We're already getting so many comments in, and I will be looking at the comments, but we'll move on to Sultan now. If you could tell our audiences a little bit about yourself, Sultan.
Hi, I'm Sultan. I work in the operations team at TCCA. I'm also a mother of two beautiful little girls. I'm Yeni Boğaziçi, and currently a volunteer in the COVID-19 group.
That's fantastic, Sultan. And I've seen you quite a few times on the Friday runs as well. You're working very, very hard. And yes, we shouldn't forget about the fact that we're mothers as well. That's a very good point. Yeah, Şanel is as well. We all are. And amongst all of our family commitments to do this is very, very commendable. So thank you very much. Hakan, kendisini biraz tanıtabilir misiniz seyircilerimize?
Türkçe mi, İngilizce mi?
Size bağlı. Türkçe de olur, İngilizce de olur. You can do it in English or Turkish. Up to you.
Sultan, Türkçe mi, İngilizce mi?
Türkçe. All right, do it in Turkish. Do it in Turkish.
Okay, benim adım Hakan. Şoförlük yaparım işte TCCA, working beside of A-level, TCCA, delivering through hospitals, police station, homeless people, working beside of a lot of companies.
Yeah. You've been doing a lot of hard work, actually, Hakan. Hakan is like the driver. He goes absolutely everywhere for the TCCA and for the COVID group. And he's been working really hard. And last week we were meant to connect with him, but he was actually out on a job. And we were going to actually show it to you in action. But I think we might get some of that footage for future programs, Hakan, and actually show you in action, because it's really interesting, I think, for our viewers to see. It would have been nice, but the internet connection wasn't great. So thankfully, thank you very much, Hakan. He's actually taken time out again this week because he couldn't come on last week to be on my program. So I'm very grateful. Thank you. You're a very helpful, very kind man. So thank you very much. Bayram, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Bayram Çubuk. I'm a university coach for the last 10 years, and this year it was an honor to be named as the first team manager, assistant manager. But in the same time as with TCCA, we've always been in and around. Our family members are all on the committee as well. But we've always been there to give a helping hand to everyone and to our Turkish community, everybody around, in and around. So when my hala Sultan Alam, she called me up, she's like, we're doing this, we're doing a project, going to be helping out the vulnerable people, going to be, what would you like to do? And I said, you know what, I'll count me in. I didn't even say anything else. And ever since I've been there every day, trying my best and helping the community, Turkish community, to the best I can. And I'm always there.
You are, Bayram, you are. And I've wanted you to come on my program for a long time, and you're finally here because you do so much for the community. You're a very inspiring young man and a great example to the young people out there. So thank you very much for coming on my program today, especially because you're involved in lots of things, and you not only work for the COVID-19, but you're also part of the Football Federation. You help youngsters with their football, and that's really, really commendable. Thank you for all that you do as well. Erim, would we be able to get an update with the COVID-19 platform group and what's been going on this week?
Yeah, I mean, what's happening is that, as we've said before, that there is a period of transition, that we are moving into a new scope, and Şanel just kind of showcased what that is we're going this more advice space. So we're starting to restrict the amount of deliveries that we do as an organisation, because people can now start to approach semi-normality and use shops and so forth. However, there are new issues, as we said last week, and we are launching an emergency line at the moment. When people do come through to us and say they have an issue, we tackle it. We try to forward people in the right direction. We try to provide as much support as possible until organisations that do provide that support reopen. We also wanted to tell our elders that they haven't been forgotten, and they are there always in our minds around what we do and so forth. And as we haven't been able to visit care homes properly, due to the pure fact that because care homes are in a situation where they are in lockdown themselves, that people can't visit, we organised lokma and baklava and all the other sweets that we kind of celebrate Bayram with, and ensured that at least 3 of our care homes were delivered to. We did it as a joint initiative because we see this as a community that's one rather than being individual organisations. So we did it jointly with Çatı, and we did it with Cyprus Islamic Association. There is a lot more work that we're doing, and over the next few days, we're hoping to do far more work outside London. We are starting to tentatively put our feet in dealing with those isolated outside London. It's still early days, and we will deal with that. However, as I said, that we are going to a new phase around what we're doing as an organisation and as a project.
That's actually working very quickly, because you thought of that last week, and within a week you're already saying that you're starting to work outside. So that's very quick, in my opinion.
Aisha, the thing is that we've got amazing volunteers. So as soon as an idea comes about, people are forward. You know, they say, we want to give up our time. Like Chanel's mum is very well known to us, and she's kind of been involved in the charity sector, advice sector for years. Straight away, we have her as a volunteer as well to give advice. And there's other people coming every day to say that if you are providing an advice-based initiative, we have got those skills, we can help, and we will help. So, yeah.
Definitely. We've got lots of comments coming in. I'm going to just quickly summarize some of them. Lily is saying, Shani, love you, girl. Vicky is saying Shani Shan as well. So obviously that's your nickname, is it? Shani Shan. Is that how they go by? Oh, that's really nice.
My Facebook name.
Facebook name. I love it. It's nice. Yasemin is saying, hello, everyone. Well done. It's all the volunteers. Excellent work. Definitely deserves recognition, 100%. And we will carry on. Gulfidan, who is also a volunteer. Well done, you guys. Proud of you, Sultan and Bayram. Vicky is saying, well done. What you do, Shan. Let's actually go on to that, Şanel. Can you again summarize? So, because I'm going to go around now. Obviously, you gave me a background, all of you, as to what you are, what your profession is, and what you specifically do. But if you could just summarize what it is that you do for the Platform-19, and if there's people out there that need help, what could you do to support them, Şanel?
Basically, if they have any kind of problems when it comes to housing, whether it's housing options, what the kind of rules and regulations are regarding it, I kind of know quite a bit about it, whether it's applying for the housing benefits, whether it's applying for universal benefit or any other kind of benefit, application forms, form filling, and basically basic advice regarding any kind of anything to do with like what would happen in the job centre, what would happen in the council, what would happen. Also, because I work, I'm a civil servant, I work for the HMRC now. Before, I used to work in the job centre, so I kind of know quite a bit about both sectors of the civil service. So basically, anything really to do with government bodies and what support they may need, I would know. And even if I don't, my mum's got a lot more knowledge than I do, so she would be the person that I would go to if there was a question or query that I didn't know the answer to.
Excellent. Yeah, this is it. It's historical, isn't it? Isn't that amazing, though? I mean, Erim should be quite proud of that. The fact is that not only is it's like 2 generations worth of volunteers here that we're seeing, isn't it? It's really good.
So, actually, let me tell you another little story, right? I knew Shan when she was a little girl, so I've kind of grown up, lost touch for a long time, and then she comes back on as a volunteer. So for me, it's seeing someone who I saw years ago, right, as a 14, 15-year-old, got to be a woman who's now supporting the community, which makes me very proud.
Yeah, definitely. And Şanel, tell us, if people are to contact, can they contact you directly through Facebook, or is it through the organisation? How does that work?
Well, at the moment, what's been happening so far is they've been contacting either the organisation or Erim Metto, and Erim has been passing them on. But they can contact me directly if they need help. I wouldn't turn them away. But also, Erim Metto is sorting out an emergency line, which is then going to be diverted to me on certain days and other people that are volunteering. And then what we'll do is we'll set up a WhatsApp group. So if somebody doesn't know the answer to something, there'll be a group of us that can answer that question, and then we can take over, or that person can just answer it directly to them. So that way we have that support network behind us when it comes to helping people. Also, it's where I think somebody hasn't mentioned it yet, but they also do a befriending service, which I think Sultan's actually in charge of, so I'll let her explain what that's about.
It's her turn anyway now. Generic, you've passed the baton on now. Right, Sultan, the baton's on you. Can you tell us what you're doing specifically for the COVID-19 group, and certainly what Şanel just mentioned, if you could elaborate on that?
Yeah, we've got different things going on. So obviously we've got the befriending, like Şanel said. So out of all of the volunteers, everyone has their own section, has their own group. And we call them every maybe 2 to 3 days to make sure they're okay. Some of these people do need the food runs that we're doing, so they're included in that. So with Gulay jointly, we start on a Monday, and all the way to Friday, we are getting things ready, making the calls, making sure our postcodes are grouped, getting the volunteers together. So it's an all-week thing that we do. And that's with Gulay. So without Gulay,
Gulay,
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Behind the scenes, but she should be part of this. I think next week we're going to drag her in front of the camera.
I agree.
She'll be part of this, I think, next week. But there's only 6. That's like the maximum. So to be fair to her, but she's a whiz behind stage. And you and her, I know, because obviously I'm part of that befriending group where I do the food runs, but I don't have near as many as you guys do. And you actually organise it on a day-to-day basis. And I know how much hard work goes into it every single day, hours and hours you give, both of you, to organising all of these things. It's not an easy feat. So I tell you, thank you very much. And this is all volunteering as well. It's just amazing, Sultan, what you're doing and what you're doing.
Thank you.
Really is. I know there's lots of comments coming in. I will get through them, but I just want our volunteers to actually tell us what they do, and then I'll go back to the comments. Hakan, tell me, how far have you driven? Tell us all the different places that you've been to and any experiences with this volunteering.
Well, weekly I do around about 300 to 400 miles a week. My first place is Alexandra Place. I load my van up. Most of the week I go to Haringey, TCCA. Then from there I go London Royal Hospital. I go all around Hackney, Tottenham, Plus, same time I got my own group as well, which is every Friday I give out 20 hot meals and vegetables and everything. We are like 10, 15 of us. And like I said earlier, beside of, I help Erim Abi, whatever they need, wherever they want me to go. Especially Sultan, she's on my case 24/7. Try to send me stuff London.
Is she? Is she like your navigator? Is she your Tom-Tom? Almost.
No. Tell her that, ask her then. She's on my case 24/7. Hakan, you want to go there? You want to go here?
I'm trying to give you the easy route.
Be on the men's case. This is good stuff. I'm liking it. But you do a lot. I mean, what you've just mentioned, like, and you could do that within a day. It's amazing, really. And you have your own organisation as well. You're providing hot meals to a lot of elderly as well, are you?
Yes, I go to hospices. I go all the way down Romford, Hackney. Top of that, I do deliveries for Edible, for Soner from Alexandra Place.
Yes, that's Edible London.
I'm like, yeah, I'm international. I'm in and out everywhere, basically. So.
Yeah, you don't have the quarantine rules. Actually, you could just drive everywhere.
Yeah, I drive everywhere. I don't stop at all. So
no, but you know, it's heartwarming as well. And I'm sure how is it received by the elderly? You know, when you go and you see them and you give them the hot food, how does that make you feel?
They love it. They're getting happy. Some of them get excited. Some of them say, "Oh, would you put in the cupboards for me?" Some of them say this. I said, "No, 2 meters. I'm not coming near you."
That's true. We have to remind them, isn't it? You're very good. Yeah, so you have to be responsible as well. Of course, this is very important, by the way. In all of these things that we do as part of the COVID-19 platform, I have witnessed it. Everyone is wearing masks. Everyone is wearing gloves. Everyone socially distances. We follow to all of the guidelines, especially when we're delivering to these vulnerable people. We leave it on the doorstep, and obviously sometimes they may need assistance, then they have to go inside the house. So it's all done in a very safe and environment following government guidelines. Let me just make that as a point to our audience. I've witnessed how it's run. You know, everyone's very professional in all that we do, but unfortunately we do have to do this outreach work for these vulnerable people, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to get fed, you know. So it's very, very important. So it's very essential what Hakan does. You know, he puts himself at risk in a sense by doing these things, and it's very commendable. Bayram, tell us about your food runs. You are like the strategic person. Last Friday, you were like the brains behind the whole operation. I felt like it was like we should have the Mission Impossible music, and you were like saying, right, you're going here, you're going to South London to here. You've got very good knowledge of like where everything is in London. Tell us about the sort of the general things that you do for the COVID-19 group.
No, it's also, we're all volunteering, we're all helping out, we're all putting our shift in, but we also want to make it easy for us as well. So there's no point sending someone, for example, to Barnet and then come all the way to South London or to East London and back up here. There's no point. So we need to divide it up nicer. That's why Sultan and Good Eye have been sorting this out for the last few weeks as well, where it's not just ring up, put the name down, that's it. Because we've got to organise how many drivers we have, who's going where, what time we have to give them by. There's some people that are home, or there's some people that will be asleep by that time, or so on. So that's why there's so many things that's just squashed up into one little in time slot, basically, for all of us to condense and to work around. So it does help when everybody's with a warm heart, with a smile on their face, they turn up like, I'm here to help, I'm here to put a shift in. And that's also heartwarming when you actually go to the doors and to deliver. When there's a few people, way more than that actually, that they're unable, they even struggle to come to the door, open the door, even carry the shopping themselves. It's come to a point where we've had to even break up some of the shopping bags to make it easier for that person to carry it from the door to their kitchen and so on. So it is heartwarming what they say. But this is what we're doing it for. We're helping our community, and this is a time and this is a place where our community needs it.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
I've seen loads of those other charities and so on where they're just all politics and talking and talk to the politics, ashkans and so on. Like, listen, we haven't got time for that. There's people here that actually need the help and they need it now. So if you're willing to do it, you know where to come.
Yeah.
And
So
for
you
me,
recommend
this
it?
group here that we've got, that we work every Fridays, is amazing. And we had a couple runs as well yesterday for Bayram. Me and Arif, we went to Great Ormond Hospital. It was different.
How
I
did it
also
make you
want
feel going to Great Ormond Street and seeing is
to
it the
be honest,
children?
when we
Obviously,
went to the children's MCU ward in
yeah,
Great Ormond Hospital. We brought 30 meals to the nurses. But to be honest, like when we walked in, it was with our masks and with our gloves. Not a lot of people had masks and gloves around us. Like, it was a bit weird, to be honest.
Mhm.
But when we had one of the security guards escort us up there and back, because they don't allow any people walking around. So we went up to the nurses and we told them, listen, we're bringing you guys food. And they didn't allow us into the canteen because they're keeping it extra clean and extra tidy and
Yeah,
keeping like personal members, authorized people, personnel only. So
yeah.
we brought it up to them. We had some of them that were even eating their lunch inside the office. Like there was one of them was having lettuce and some carrots, and I was like, come on, these guys, they deserve
Meal,
way
isn't
more.
it?
They deserve way more. Yeah,
That's the thing about our community, isn't it? And that's what I like about, with Edible London, all the people who have
yeah,
volunteered. Erim would know better to give them a shout out. Fresh food I saw, even those pre-prepared meals were all fresh
yeah,
and healthy. Lots of vegetables I saw, lots of,
yeah,
there was the meat as well, lots of fruit, stuff that will keep these vulnerable people healthy. So it's not just that we're giving them food, but we're actually
no,
giving thought as to what we're giving to them as
yes,
well. And it's commendable. You've gone into the hospital and you've actually helped those people that are helping the children, the vulnerable children. They need
yeah,
help as well. It's these care workers. It's not just the vulnerable, but it's also the care workers that you're
yeah.
actually, providing
There's a
help
community.
for.
Everybody, we're all in this. We're all in this.
Yeah.
How can I say it? Game together. We're all in this situation together.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
all about coming together as one and walking through this together.
Yeah.
So this is the time where it's needs, and this is
Yeah.
where everybody comes together.
Yeah, it's like, it's, of course we need to stay at home and stay safe, but
Yeah,
when you volunteer, you bring, and Robbie said this to me the other week, another volunteer part of and you basically get into a different gear, you come out, you make a difference to your community, and it makes, not only are you providing help for someone else and making them feel better, but it makes you feel better as well. It feels like you're making a difference for your mental health. I think it's refreshing and very healthy. Very, very good. Right. I've been told by Gulai I need to read the comments. Lots of comments coming in. So we'll
Good
just,
luck.
before we go on to Erim again to summarize, I mean, wow. So we did Yasemin, Gulfi done. We did Vicky G. Amazing what you do, Shan. Gulfi done, right. Sultan, we love you. Vicky is saying Allah sizi iyi ki sağlık versin inşallah. Size iyilik sağlık versin inşallah. Sorry, my Turkish. Basically, hope God gives you health and happiness. Shan Hatem, there's lots of hearts. Gül Fidan, go Bayram. Ergun maşallah Londra'daki gençlerimizin her dala kendini gösteriyor. Sayenizde başarılar dileriz. So basically, somebody commending our youth, saying that you're doing really, really well. Musti, Shan, Hakan, I'm just going through. Fikiji, please tell us how we can get involved and help. Erim, you can maybe answer that one. How, he said, please tell us how we can get involved and help.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way is to either DM me, DM Sultan, or DM Eurogench TV. One of those avenues will then filter into a volunteer pack that we organise. You fill in a volunteer pack. We match your skills and what you want to do with what we're actually doing as an organisation. I just want to pick up on a couple of things that other people have said within this programme. So going back to what Chanel said, with regards referring people coming through to us for help and stuff, it's better if it's done through the organisation, because then we have it as an organised mechanism. Because what we do is we do DBS checks on all the people that are there. We try to match the skill set with what is needed. So when we do the emergency line, i.e. Mondays will be allocated to Şanel to do advice on housing or benefits, and that will be directed through the emergency line, which will then be redirected to her phone. But she's a volunteer, and we need to safeguard everyone that's within this environment, both the people we provide help for and also the volunteers itself. So the best way for people who are going to want to get help is to come through us, the scheme which is managed, and then we will then refer the best people to help them. I also want to pick up on a couple of other things that Hakan's been totally amazing. He just strives. I don't know how someone can live striving so much, but we pick up the phone. We have a problem. Hakan, yep, no problem. Hakan, yes, no problem. So he drives around like nobody's business and has helped us from day one. Bayram's been totally amazing by being able to. We wanted to go to Great Ormond Street, and that was something that came through from this show. In a previous show, someone said, don't you guys deal with Great Ormond Street and doing it? So it came on board, and we spoke to the person. It materialised that a lot of the organisations providing support to hospitals were providing it to the key hospitals, but Great Ormond Street had been left out. So we felt that we can't do that. We can't leave that gap to happen. We just dealt with it, and Bayram, thankfully, you dealt with it. Amazing. But that's where we are as an organisation. We see the gaps and we see what's happening. We try to fill those gaps as much as we can, and we've got a myriad of things. I mean, we mentioned one or two things here: the befriending and the food drop-offs and the food parcels, the hot meals. But there's a lot of other things that we're doing related to this, and this will carry on. And you have the word of everyone in this part of this group that this will carry on until the pandemic ends. And once it ends, then I'm sure the volunteers that become part of this group will be able to go and do other things within their respective communities to deal with other issues that are out there.
Yeah, definitely. We've still got loads of comments I'm going through. Aisha Adil is saying, hi guys, you're all amazing. That's Erim, you're not just a talker. Very, very true. Mehdi Ismail, hi Erim, Aisha and Sultan and all have a great show. You are always doing brilliant. I actually had them, the Mehdi Foundation, on this week, all the way from Cyprus, got links with us. Musi Kushti Shan, thanks for helping us yesterday, helping all the homeless people in Camden. You're the best. Vicky, myself and Musti will volunteer to help, so more volunteers there. Please get in touch with Erim or put comments here, but definitely DM Erim and he'll be able to move you to the right direction. Hey, well done, Shannon, guys. More power to you all. Mashallah. Gulfidan, a big clap to Erim. Without him, none of this would be happening. Yasmin, well done, Shannon. Very proud also. Tunch Bay said, you all deserve recognition. The community is proud of you all. Musti wants to also thank Range Homes, Şanel for the volunteering work. Gul Rose, amazing work, guys. Gulfidan Gulay on next week, please. Yes. We need Gulay on next week.
Yes, please.
Shed, so proud of my cousins Sultan and Bayram. Şanel, thank you to Erim and Gulay every week. This is it's growing and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. So proud to be a part of this. So many positive comments. Gulay herself has now said, yes, Sultan, my partner in crime, couldn't do this without you. Yeah, you too. You're like two amazing girls. Hatem, you're all amazing people for giving up your free time. Şanel, well done. Hakan, thank you. Fatma, how many people are in need in our community? Do you help all communities or only Turkish? Do people refer themselves? How can we refer people? Erim, shall I get you to start with that one?
Yeah. I mean, just this week, it gives you a prime example of what we do. So you could say that the care homes that we dealt with this week, they involve Turkish Cypriots and predominantly Greek Cypriots in those care homes. With anyone that's come through to us, doesn't matter what community they're part of, we are there to provide help, and we help people who are mainland Turkish, who are Bangladeshi, who are English, and any other communities. The reason why it's classified as a Turkish Cypriot COVID-19 group is that fundamentally, when the group was started, it was started out by Turkish as people who believe in the rights of individuals. Anyone that comes through to us will not be turned away. we have obviously the speciality with regards to language and the food and the culture and all that sort of thing, and we know our community. That's why it's called the Turkish Cypriot COVID-19. But we don't turn anyone away. We're open to everyone.
Yes, and that's a very important point, and that was pointed out last week as well. And we're pointing out, yes, we have to fundamentally, of course, we are catering to the Turkish Cypriot community, but it's open to everybody. It's just that there was a need there, and therefore that's why this was set up. But definitely it's open to everyone. Fikri, please tell us how we can get involved and help. Sultan, can you tell us how can people help and get involved?
Well, Friday, we're at TCCA every Friday, doing with all the volunteers, packing up the bags. We're in great need there for help, and drivers. We need drivers to go to different postcodes, because as we're going along, we're finding that we're reaching people as far as Romford, South London. It's, South London's massive. We didn't realise when we were doing our postcodes. So ideally, we need 2 in South London. So just let us know what you can do for us, and we'll point you in the right direction wherever we need help, and then we'll go from there.
Definitely. I'm going through the comments. Şanel has said, "Mashallah, herkese." Oh God, it's skipped. Right, Fatma, please tell us the priorities, e.g., homeless, lonely people on benefit. Who'd like to answer that? We'll start with Erim again, and then maybe Şanel as well. Please tell us the priorities, e.g., homeless, lonely people on benefit.
So one of the things we're doing as part of this group is that although we're leading the response to the elderly and the most vulnerable, there are associated groups that we're working with that includes one that I'm a member of, which is called Haven for Homeless. So we're dealing with issues related to homeless. We're also dealing with issues of other individuals who are vulnerable but don't fall into classifications of what the local authorities and central government is listing as essential. And Edible London is another organisation that we work very, very closely with, and all these networks seem to be breeding amongst themselves. So, like Hakan was saying, that he works and he organises initiatives outside of what he does with us, and he's made a link there with Edible London that he's utilising to benefit the community. So, us as individuals, without any restrictions, are working together to ensure that we all benefit, and that those in most vulnerable and those in need, through this network that we have, will be helped. And I think I want to mention something else just really, really quickly, is that based on discussions that we've just recently had with a number of other charities, we're sorting out something that's going to be developing from here onwards. So with Çubuk, with Cyprus Islamic Association, with Edible London, and there's about another 4 or 5 organisations that have grown in the way that we work with each other, that we will, after this pandemic is over, and we will have discussions around how we can utilize this amazing resource of human beings that we have who are working on all these initiatives that can thereafter benefit those most in need.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Good Fidan also has made a comment here. All communities are welcome to get in touch if any assistance is needed, and any volunteer should contact Erim Metto. So again, voicing what we were saying. Benny's, well done, Bayram. Yili, well done, guys. You're Allah doing an amazing work. Shen, is anything going on for the Turkish community in South London? Şanel, Sultan, I'm going to let you answer that one. Şanel, have you done any food runs in South London so far? Oh, your sound.
She's on mute.
Sorry, I'm muted in the background. I personally haven't, but I know my colleagues that have been volunteering have. But it's a really downfall for us when we actually need volunteers from South London, because it's a big struggle. Constantly, people, like, we've got our WhatsApp group, and they're constantly asking who can do these postcodes, because South London is a struggle for people. I'm coming from Hertfordshire, so for me coming from Hertfordshire to go all the way to South London is a big distance away, so it doesn't suit me. But if anybody's in South London and can help, it would be ideal if they can, come forward and get in contact with Sultan or Erim so that they can help basically.
Hakan Bey is going to help.
Hakan Bey, you've been doing quite a lot of runs to South London, I'm sure.
Yes, I have. This week I'm doing for Miss Sultan. She's asking me last 2 weeks. And hopefully I'm doing South and North London this week.
Okay, so it is being covered, is the answer to that. but
Yeah.
obviously we'd like to cover it more.
Yeah.
So like everybody said, if there are any volunteers around that area, that would be definitely helpful. And Bayram, I can assure you, is very good with making sure that we're organised with that. I tell you, everywhere he's like we bag everything up, they label everything, and then Bayram actually looks at the map and says, right, you start from here and we go from here. And I tell you, these kids, the way you just like you cover so many areas in like 2 or 3 hours is amazing. Because I see it on your WhatsApp group, because I only do North London because I have to come back to do my program. I've literally only done N13 and N14 sort of around here, but you guys have gone all over the place. You've gone from South London to Harlow to all everywhere, and I see it on your group WhatsApp, and you take pictures. They've taken pictures of London Bridge and everything, and I see them on their journey. And I love the banter that you have on your WhatsApp as well. You do it all with fun and love, honestly, and with enthusiasm, even though you're working very, very hard. I'm determined to get through all these comments. Yili, well done, guys. You're all doing an amazing job, amazing work. Sonj, well done all. Pai, hello, awesome. Fatma Mehmet, great job, Erim and team. Amazing work. Thank you, my soul sister. Fatma, Hatem Yeni oğlu kimlere yardım ediyor? Can we read this? Erim, can you decipher this one? Birçok insan volunteer olmak istiyor. Can you answer this one, Erim?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've already answered it to a degree. I think if people want to volunteer, there is space for volunteering. If we can't offer them the opportunity they want to volunteer because of this extremely close network we have with other groups like Cyprus Islamic Association, Çatı, Edible London, then there are links that can be formed and that can help in those sorts of arenas. Like Shan also knows Sono from Edible London, and she's going to be doing their social media because she's volunteered to do that. So networks will breed other networks. As for what we do around helping people and what type of people will help, it's whatever comes through to us, because some issues we don't spot. We try our best, we try to deal with the gaps, but if we don't see an issue, then it's up to the public to let us know what the issues are. And if we can help, obviously we will. We'll do our utmost. The fact is that we've got to remember that this is completely volunteer based. So all of you guys, including you, Aishen, does this voluntarily. So you guys all go out, try to help the community because of the goodness of your heart. So we will do it, and we do as much as we can, but there is a limit to what we can. And we haven't been able to say, we haven't said no to anyone yet. So we'll carry on doing that. And I think we just get in touch with us and let us know.
Exactly, definitely. I mean, we've gone over a little bit with our program, but that's okay. We've got a bit of time because we've got some very important questions coming up. Hatem said, Fatma, everyone. Hakan, hello, same. And then Musti has said, how can we donate money to the cause? Is there a possibility with that? Again, sorry, Erim, I'm going to point this question to you.
So we still have the GoFundMe page, and the idea of the GoFundMe page is very early on. We worked out the average delivery of shopping to one household for 1 week was roughly about £25. So every £25 that we get from the GoFundMe page will go into supporting one food pack. Obviously, if you do £100, that's 4 food packs roughly that will kind of sponsor. So that's one way that we're taking funds. The GoFundMe page will be up for about another 3 weeks roughly, but any money that comes through there does fund the shopping runs themselves. Outside of money, if you have donation of food items that you can give, then we would accept food items. Like we've had chickens donated, Bustamante donated, various other bits donated that all go into food packs. And Chanel's mum donated water and stuff. So people go out there day in, day out, and they donate. And this helps us with reducing the cost of the food packs, but ensures that we get the food out to the various members of the community that need it. So they're the two main ways that people can still help if they can't contribute their time.
And then someone has asked, where's the link for the GoFundMe page?
Right. I do have it, but not at hand.
Okay. Can we add it to the top of this program, maybe?
Yeah.
Easy. Right. So, Hatem, just watch when we share out this program on my page specifically. Aishan Jamal, that's my name. DJEMAL. It will be, and the TCCA will probably share this out as well. It'll be
what we can do is DM Hatem directly as well. So we can DM her, and we'll also put it on as part of the page.
Excellent. Right, we've actually run out of time. This is an amazing program. We could go on for another 2 hours, I think, but we're going to have to make a close. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to go around and everyone say last words, any message that they'd like to give to the audience. Thank you very much to the audience. Thank you for all the questions that have been coming in. Like Erim said, if there is a gap, if there is something that you feel there's a need for, please just let us know. Put it as a comment on our program, DM Erim, DM myself or the TCCA, and we will get back to you, rest assured. You know, they were talking about, you know, Great Ormond Street last week, and it already happened within a week. They're very quick and they move quick and they make, you know, do results. Bayram, your last messages to our audience.
Oh, it's time for me. Okay.
Yeah,
Basically, my last message is everyone, we are here for the community. So we'll do our best we can, and we haven't turned away anybody, and we're not going to either. But if there is anybody that wants to donate, that wants to help out, that wants to put in a shift, our doors are always open to everyone. The more, the better. We can share this together, and we can go past these dark days together. So I want to wish everyone. I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to you. Thank you to Gula for this show as well. Erim abi, number one.
You number one.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Action continues.
The link has actually been put at the bottom of the comments, guys, so it's there. So you can, and Mustis, but we should all have a barbecue. Certainly, definitely.
Absolutely.
I want
Yeah,
barbecue.
2 meters.
Wait.
Me too.
Hakan, what are your last words?
Firstly, I want to thank.
Hakan,
Oh, is that me?
We're going round.
Sorry.
Hakan.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on the program. We're here for help anyone and everyone. If anyone needs anything, we are on the road 24/7. So you can contact with me, Erim, Sultan, or Şanel. I don't know him. The other one, Bayram.
Right, and we want the t-shirts as well.
So,
the t-shirts, please.
Yeah, inbox me your size and the colors, please. I order it for you lot.
Okay, and someone's put you
charge,
rock,
that's no
Hakan.
problem.
You rock. Did you hear that comment? You rock.
I wish I was.
Tell me.
I want to just thank every single volunteer that's come on Fridays, that's helped us, especially my sister. Like, without her donating, being there, even on my phone calls every day, trying to support, you know, much love to you and everyone else. You've all been absolutely amazing. And let's continue.
Yeah, and you've been amazing. Well, thank you very much for everything that you do. Şanel, any last words?
Anyone that wants to donate, it would be appreciated. Anyone that wants to volunteer and can give up their time, come forward. You will actually, you feel so good about it when you knock on someone's door, and the appreciation they give you, the way that they make you feel, it's just such that grateful feeling. It literally has me in tears. So it's very rewarding. So I do advise you lot to come forward if you have that time to give. Any help and any support would be greatly appreciated by our community. So every little thing, you know, brick by brick, it all comes together.
I agree, Şanel. Thank you very much for all the help that you're doing and your knowledge that you're passing over to our community as well. It's very helpful. Thank you so much. Erim, anything else that you'd like to add to all of that?
No, it makes me feel really happy that we have so many giving people in our community, because for a long time I thought that all the aspects of goodness within people have been lost in many in our community, but it just shows a crisis like this where our community is so strong together and comes together to serve those most in need. It makes me really proud to be amongst all these heroes that are around us. So I, as a person, individual who's been working in the voluntary sector for years, I'm absolutely blessed to be working with these people.
Yeah, and we're blessed to have you as well, Erim. Thank you for pulling everything
Definitely.
together. Thank you for dedicating your time to doing this program for us as well, and all of the hard work that you did, and you know, working with all the organisations. And let me say, you're one of the people in our community that pull people together and makes people work together. And I think it's important, and more people need to take example from you. I think, you know, you're a beacon in our community. So thank you very much for all of your support. I personally thank you as well for supporting me as well with this program. That's it from us, from You Against TV. Thank you very much to our audiences. Thank you very much for your comments. Keep them coming in. We've got the Just Giving link at the bottom of our page. And if there is anything, like Erim said, like the volunteers, everybody said, if there is a gap, you feel like there is something needed, then please inbox either Erim, Sultan, myself, everybody here on the program, my program specifically at the bottom, and we will try and help you. That's it from us, from You Against TV. Have a good evening. Good night. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome, we are Bologna, calling newlyweds or those looking for a new bedroom set. Venti 5-door bedroom set is not only glamorous and modern, but has storage inside the bed. This bedroom set was £3,700, now £2,395. Bologna, we are here for you.